On the North African coast, Carthage rose from Phoenician settlers seeking trade and safe harbors. Founded around 814 BCE, legend credits Queen Dido, who cleverly secured land from local rulers. Carthage began as a trading hub, linking Africa, Iberia, and Mediterranean islands into vast networks. With fertile hinterlands, Carthage grew wealthy from agriculture, especially grain, olives, and precious crops. Its harbor became legendary, featuring circular docks for warships and expansive quays for merchants. Phoenician sailors brought seafaring skills, making Carthage a dominant naval power across Mediterranean waters. Carthaginian merchants traded silver, gold, ivory, and slaves, reaching distant Britain for tin resources. From Africa, they exported prized goods like exotic animals, dyes, and valuable agricultural surpluses. Skilled in navigation, Carthaginians ventured along Atlantic coasts, possibly reaching beyond Gibraltar's pillars. Society revolved around oligarchic councils, wealthy families ruling commerce, politics, and military with precision. Carthage worshipped gods like Baal-Haman and Tanit, offering sacrifices in elaborate religious ceremonies. Religious devotion blended Phoenician traditions with African influences, creating unique cultural expressions. Carthage expanded across North Africa, founding colonies in Tunisia, Algeria, and Libya's fertile coasts. Sicily became a prized target, controlling trade routes and grain supplies for Mediterranean empires. Carthaginians clashed with Greek city-states, especially Syracuse, over control of Sicily's wealth and ports. Wars with Greeks were brutal, yet Carthage endured, showing resilience and military determination. Carthaginian generals relied heavily on mercenaries. Iberians, Gauls, and Numidians fought under their banners. This reliance provided manpower but risked loyalty, as mercenaries fought primarily for pay. Carthage built a formidable navy, triremes, patrolling Mediterranean waters to secure dominance. Naval innovations, including the quinquereme, gave Carthage unmatched maritime strength for centuries. Rome, rising from Italy, eventually collided with Carthage over control of Sicily's strategic crossroads. The First Punic War erupted in 264 BCE, lasting 23 years of struggle. Rome adapted quickly, constructing fleets and inventing the corvus boarding device to counter Carthaginian seamanship. Despite naval supremacy, Carthage suffered defeats. Forced to cede Sicily in 241 BCE, heavy indemnities strained Carthage, and unpaid mercenaries revolted in the bloody mercenary war. Carthage crushed the revolt brutally, re-establishing authority but deepening scars on its reputation. Seeking recovery, Carthage expanded into Iberia under Hamilcar Barca, father of the future Hannibal. Hamilcar's campaign secured silver mines, funding Carthage's revival and strengthening military power. His son-in-law Hasdrubal consolidated Iberian conquests, founding New Carthage as administrative capital. Upon Hasdrubal's death, young Hannibal Barca was acclaimed commander by Iberian troops. Hannibal, sworn from childhood to hate Rome, prepared for renewed confrontation with fierce determination. He expanded Carthaginian territory in Iberia, angering Rome and testing their fragile peace treaty. The siege of Saguntum in 219 BCE triggered the outbreak of the Second Punic War. Rome expected to fight in Iberia, but Hannibal envisioned a bold strike into Italy. In 218 BCE, Hannibal marched with 40,000 troops and war elephants across the Alps. The crossing was brutal. Avalanches and hostile tribes decimated his army's numbers. Yet Hannibal emerged into Italy, stunning Romans, who never expected invasion from the north. At Trebia, Hannibal ambushed Romans, using superior cavalry and cunning tactics for victory. At Lake Trasimene, Hannibal orchestrated a devastating ambush, annihilating thousands in Rome's largest trap. Panic swept Rome, forcing them to appoint dictator Fabius Maximus, who adopted delaying tactics. Hannibal's greatest triumph came at Cannae in 216 BCE, where he encircled a larger Roman force. Over 50,000 Romans perished, one of history's most catastrophic battlefield defeats. Many Italian allies defected, joining Hannibal's cause, though Rome's core remained unbroken. Despite victories, Hannibal lacked siege equipment to capture Rome itself, limiting his campaign's success. Rome adapted, avoiding open battles, slowly regaining ground through attrition and resilience. Publius Cornelius Scipio rose as Rome's brilliant commander, targeting Carthage's holdings in Iberia. Scipio seized New Carthage, depriving Hannibal of reinforcements and crucial Iberian resources. Hannibal remained in Italy for years, but Roman counteroffensives eroded his strategic position. In 204 BCE, Scipio invaded North Africa, threatening Carthage directly, forcing Hannibal's recall. The two legends clashed at Zama in 202 BCE, sealing Carthage's fate. Roman cavalry and Numidian allies outmaneuvered Hannibal, delivering Carthage a decisive defeat. Carthage surrendered, losing navy, territories, and paying crushing indemnities once again. Hannibal entered politics, reforming Carthaginian finances, but Roman hostility forced him into exile. He advised foreign kings, still resisting Rome, but eventually took poison to avoid capture. Carthage rebuilt commerce, prospering despite military restrictions imposed by Rome's harsh treaties. Yet resentment brewed in Rome, fearing Carthage's revival as a trading competitor. Roman statesman Cato ended every speech with, "Carthage must be destroyed." Tensions peaked in the Third Punic War, beginning in 149 BCE. With Roman invasion, Carthaginians fought desperately, defending their city with courage and ingenuity. For 3 years, siege engines, fire, and starvation tested Carthage's endurance. In 146 BCE, Scipio Aemilianus breached Carthage's walls after brutal street fighting. The city was burned, survivors enslaved, and Carthage erased as a political power. Roman propaganda claimed they sowed salt into the soil, symbolizing Carthage's eternal destruction. Yet the memory of Carthage endured as both rival and inspiration to later powers. Carthage's maritime trade left legacies in shipbuilding, navigation, and economic networks across the Mediterranean. Its multicultural society blended Phoenician, African, and Iberian traditions into a unique civilization. Archaeological remains reveal advanced urban planning, including harbors, temples, and impressive defense walls. Carthaginian agriculture pioneered irrigation, crop rotation, and scientific farming methods, admired even by Romans. Hannibal's tactics at Cannae influenced military strategy for centuries, studied by generals like Napoleon. Rome itself incorporated Carthaginian gods and cultural elements into its expanding empire. Carthage rose again as a Roman colony, becoming prosperous under imperial rule. Augustine of Hippo, one of Christianity's great thinkers, lived in Roman Carthage centuries later. Carthaginian identity blended into Roman Africa, contributing to empire's wealth and culture. Yet memories of Hannibal's defiance lingered, embodying courage against overwhelming odds. Ancient writers debated whether Carthage was cruel empire or misunderstood rival crushed by Rome. Archaeology continues uncovering Carthage's complexity, from religion to commerce, challenging old Roman biases. Carthage's navy showcased innovation, designing ships capable of speed, maneuverability, and ocean endurance. Its economic networks reached from Africa's heartlands to Europe's distant northern shores. Carthaginian coinage reflected prosperity, trade wealth, and power of their mercantile elite families. Hannibal remains celebrated as one of the greatest generals in world military history. Rome's fear of Carthage shaped its policies, demonstrating rivalry's impact on Mediterranean geopolitics. Carthage's destruction cleared Rome's path to dominate Western Mediterranean without serious competition. Yet Carthaginian legacies influenced even Rome's economic, military, and administrative developments. Modern Tunisia preserves ruins of Carthage, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Visitors walk among harbor remains, Punic Wars, and temples once central to Carthage's life. Carthage's story reflects rise through trade, resilience in war, and tragic destruction by Rome. Hannibal's daring march over Alps still symbolizes determination, courage, and bold strategy. Carthage teaches how commerce can build empires, but also invite jealousy and conflict. Its legacy lives in military academies, historical memory, and debates over empire's morality. The Carthaginian Empire, once proud and powerful, endures as cautionary tale of ambition and downfall.